And this is all for just for review purposes. How many notes are there in a major scale? You're welcome to use whatever notes you have in front of you, or whatever green pieces of paper might be on. Eight. There are 8 notes in a major scale. 7 of them are different. The first note and the 8th note should be the same one. Do you remember between which scale degrees are the half steps in that major scale?
3, 4, 7, and 8.
Between 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. So when I ask you for a major scale on anything, your first move should be to write in the numbers. And then indicate with these numbers where the half steps are. 3, 4, 7, and 8. How did you remember that, Robert?
3 and 4 and 7. I know 7 and 8 because it's the last one. And then I sometimes think the first 2, but I know it's 3 and 4.
You just haven't memorized 3 and 4. Okay, what's another way?
Up there.
Up there, right? So mi and fa are closer together on my scale, and so are ti and do. By the way, mi points down to fa. Did you ever notice that? The thumb's down, it's not because fa is terrible and we hate fa, like boo, fa. Like, the thumb points down to mi, and ti points up to do. So it actually kind of points to where the half steps are. There's like a whole rhyme and reason to why the specific guy who invented those uses those hand signs, and I won't go into it today. But that's like your cheat sheet so that you know where the half steps are. All right, and for example, if I give you, let's just do bass clef. Let's say write a major scale starting with that key note, or that starting note, and I'll even put it over the 1. Your very next move should be to write in the notes that ascend. Like, don't skip a line, don't skip a space. Now, maybe that's right on its own. We don't know. But I will tell you that it's going to be some combination of those things, whether some of them are flat or some of them are sharp. Every letter is represented. Great, because this is Great Big Dreams for America. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It goes in alphabetical order, ascending. Okay. If you have your keyboard diagram out in front of you, or an access to a keyboard diagram, that's super helpful for something like this. So we'll go down the line. We'll start with Connor. Is this a half step or a whole step?
Whole step.
It's a whole step. Is that what it needs to be?
Yeah.
Yes, it is, right? There's, we indicated half steps. Robert R., is that a half step or a whole step?
From 2
From 2 to 3 here.
It is a whole step.
Half step or whole step?
Whole step.
Whole step. What should it be?
A whole step.
So I'm good to go, aren't I? All right, great. Robert M., B to a C, half step or whole step?
Half step.
What should it be?
Half step.
So I'm gonna have to touch it? Okay, great. Michael, C to a D, half step or whole step?
C to a D, whole step.
What should it be?
A whole step.
Good, I don't have to touch it. Connor Evil, D to an E,
Whole step.
what should it be?
Whole step.
Great. Robert R., next one, E to an F.
E to an F. That is a half step. It
Which-
should be a whole step.
Okay, so how do I adjust that then?
E flat.
Okay, so that's now a whole step, isn't it?
Yeah.
However, you have made the cardinal sin because now the rest of these are wrong, right? Because D to an E was a whole step, and like Connor was like, don't touch it, everything's good. So you don't want to adjust that one, you want to adjust this one.
So what would it be?
What do you think, Robert?
So this is going from F, no, E to an F, so F sharp.
Yep, there you go. And then the last one, Robert M.
So it's supposed to be a half step.
Is it?
Yes.
Now touch it? Great. All right, there you go. So look, you can adjust the space between 2 pitches, right? Here's one pitch, here's another one. Here's one note name, here's another note name. If you want to make this space bigger, you can do it one of 2 ways, really. And like you can either take the bottom hand here and drop it, which is what you did. You made it an E flat initially, and that would be a whole step. The reason we don't want to do that is because it screws with everything going back that way. Or like another way to make that bigger would be to take this top note and raise it. So that's why. That's how we know that. Let's do another example of this before we go off on our own. And let's start on, I don't know, how about this note? That one right there. What should my very next move be?
To fill in all the blanks.
Fill in all the blanks. So D, E, F, G, C. You gotta start using ledger lines, but that's okay. And D. All right. D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right, it goes in alphabetical order. I have 8 notes represented. Now let's do our, let's see, maybe this happened nicely on its own, or maybe we have to adjust some things. I don't know. Let's start with Michael.
1, 2. Okay, so the first thing is D. Is that the first
Yep,
one? D?
that's right.
And then the second one is C.
Nope.
E.
Yes.
Okay, so G to E. G to E.
Would you say G?
Yeah.
No.
The first one is no. The first one is
Great big
I mean
dreams.
D. D to E is a whole step.
Is that what it should be?
Yes.
Do I have to touch anything?
No.
Great.
So E to F, that's a half step, but it's supposed to be a whole step, so you would switch it to F sharp.
Yes. Great.
F sharp to G should be a half, so it's good.
So it's good to go. It's one of the black keys to the white key immediately above it.
G to A is a whole step.
Yep.
Should be.
Good. Michael Harris.
A to is that B?
It is. How did you know that?
Because it's right after A.
Because right after A. Yeah.
It should be a whole step. So it is a whole step.
And it is. Great. Robert M.
B to C is a half step, but it's supposed to be a whole step, so it would be C sharp.
Yes.
C sharp to C, I mean to D. So it's a half step, so it's all good.
So it's all good. All right. That's great. So you guys have a good handle, like when we do this together. My worry, and I think a little bit of the practice that you need, is like actually writing the notes in on your own, making sure you don't skip any lines or spaces, and handling it, sort of on your own. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Turn to is the last packet I gave you. It says Unit 7, Lesson 27 on top. See how fast you guys are going? You're already on Lesson 27. All the way there at the bottom. Exercise number 3. Did we get to that one yet? All right, so try that one on your own and see what happens.